So if you're stuck on how to start this linear modeling problem 1, this workshop is for you. I do have linked here an extra linear modeling workshop if you'd like to see me do another example. We have our problem. Jaden's ready to move into her first apartment. She has many options to consider, which are these 3 apartments. Now there's a down payment for all of them, and a down payment is just a one-time fee. So Jaden pays, for example, for Winding Winds Apartments, she pays a $300 down payment before she moves in. She gives them $300 one time. And then every month after that, she gives them $400 for rent. So when I'm looking here and I'm trying to figure out what my B value is and what my M value is, if I have Y equals MX plus B, I know that M has to be some kind of rate and B has to be a starting point. So when we're thinking of a starting point, we're thinking of something that typically happens once, or if we have a bank account, like the starting balance of the bank account. But this is just like the initial point. And then our rate or our slope is something that we see happen more than once. It's something that repeats itself. So if I have a $300 down payment and $400 a month for rent, it seems like this down payment that I only have to pay one time is going to be my B value. And then the $400 per month, because it happens more than once, it happens every single month, that's going to be my rate or my slope. Whenever we see a unit of time, it's really a good indicator to us that that could be the slope. It's not always the case, but a lot of times that is true. So for Winding Winds Apartments, I'm just going to put Y equals. Now I have my M value, 400x, plus my B value, which is 300. You could also have this written as 300 plus 400x. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just making sure that the x stays with the 400 because that is our slope. Notice with this 300, I do not have any variable next to it. I saw some people and they were writing something like this, y equals 400x plus 300b. This is not correct. We're not going to use that. There should be no variable associated with the b. We're just totally replacing this with a number. So you can do the same for Forest Heights Apartments and River Lane Apartments. Now, when it asks for how much each apartment costs after 3 months, we're going to use our equation. So for Winding Winds, I'm going to take this equation. And I know that x is equal to my number of months because it's $400 per month for rent. So I can just put a 3 in for x because it's asking me about the cost after 3 months, and then solve from here. So I'm going to get that y is equal to 1,200 plus 300, giving me that y is equal to 1,500 for 3 months. So make sure when you're doing this that it's multiplication, 400 times 3. With your other 2 equations, you can do that for Forest Heights Apartments and River Lane Apartments. For question 3, which apartment complex should Jaden choose and why? This is totally your call. You're just going to give me the apartment complex and a reason that she should pick that. So whatever apartment complex you think Jaden should pick, tell me, and then tell me the reason why you think she should pick that. For number 4 and 5, I already have video instructions linked. And then for number 6, the question is, suppose Jaden makes $750 a month to pay for rent. Can she afford all 3 apartment complexes? So a really good starting point is to go back up to your number 1. You should have your equations in here, and then just paste them in number 6. So number 6 is asking me if she makes $750 a month, so per 1 month, to pay for rent, can she afford all 3 apartment complexes? Instead of putting in 3 for x like I did before because I was trying to find the cost after 3 months, I'm just going to put in 1 for X because it's asking me the cost after 1 month if she can afford it. And I'll know if she can afford it if my number is less than $750. So I'm going through just working this out, replacing X with 1. So for Winding Winds Apartments, it only costs $700 for the first month. So she definitely can afford this apartment complex because it's within her budget of $750. If this number was bigger than $750, she could not afford it because it is out of her budget. If you have any other questions about this, make sure that you are asking me. Make sure that you're working on this today.